Today, we're diving into a fascinating look at things that used to be normal in society, but are now banned. From popular toys to common practices, we'll explore how and why these changes happened. Number 1. Lawn darts. Lawn darts first became popular in the 1950s and saw their peak during the 1970s and early 1980s. The game was simple and seemed harmless at first glance. Players would stand a designated distance from the target and take turns tossing the darts into the air, aiming to land them within the target ring. The simplicity and competitive nature of the game made it appealing to both children and adults. The design of lawn darts varied slightly between manufacturers, but most shared common features: a heavy, pointed tip designed to embed in the ground and large fins that help stabilize the dart in flight. The darts were often marketed as part of a family-friendly outdoor game set, alongside other backyard classics like horseshoes and croquet. Despite their popularity, lawn darts posed significant risks. The pointed tips, intended to stick into the ground, could cause serious injury if they struck a person instead. Unlike other outdoor games, the weight and momentum of lawn darts meant that any misthrow could have dire consequences. Injuries ranged from bruises and cuts to severe head trauma and, tragically, fatalities. One of the most alarming aspects of lawn dart injuries was that they often involved children. Given the game's family-oriented marketing, children frequently played unsupervised or alongside adults who underestimated the potential dangers. This combination of factors led to a substantial number of injuries. Between 1978 and 1987, the CPSC reported over 6,100 emergency room-treated injuries associated with lawn darts, including 3 deaths. The dangers of lawn darts did not go unnoticed. As injury reports accumulated, so did public concern. The pivotal moment came in April 1987, when 7-year-old Michelle Snow was killed by a lawn dart that struck her in the skull while she was playing in her front yard. Her father, David Snow, became a vocal advocate for banning the game, tirelessly campaigning to raise awareness about the dangers of lawn darts. David Snow's advocacy played a crucial role in highlighting the hazards of lawn darts to both the public and regulatory authorities. He collected data, spoke at public forums, and worked to generate media coverage on the issue. His efforts, combined with growing public concern and the rising number of injury reports, pressured the CPSC to take action. In December 1988, the CPSC issued a ban on the sale of all lawn darts in the United States. The decision came after the commission concluded that no feasible design modifications could make the product safe for consumer use. Retailers were required to remove lawn darts from their shelves, and consumers were encouraged to dispose of any sets they owned. The CPSC's ban marked a significant moment in consumer safety regulation. It underscored the agency's commitment to protecting consumers, particularly children, from hazardous products. The lawn darts ban also served as a wake-up call about the importance of thorough safety evaluations for recreational products, leading to stricter safety standards and testing protocols for toys and games in the future. Number 2. Smoking on airplanes. In the early days of commercial aviation, smoking was not only allowed, but often encouraged. Airlines provided complimentary cigarettes, and smoking was seen as a way to relax and pass the time during a flight. The presence of smoking on airplanes was so entrenched that aircraft were designed with built-in ashtrays in every seat armrest. The notion of a smoking and non-smoking section was introduced to try to address the discomfort of non-smokers. However, the confined nature of an airplane cabin meant that smoke easily traveled between sections, exposing all passengers to its effects. In-flight smoking was a reflection of a time when smoking was socially acceptable in most public spaces, including offices, restaurants, and even hospitals. By the 1970s and 1980s, scientific research had firmly established the dangers of smoking and secondhand smoke. Studies showed that secondhand smoke could lead to serious health issues, including lung cancer, heart disease, and respiratory problems. This growing body of evidence began to change public attitudes towards smoking, leading to increased advocacy for smoke-free environments. Flight attendants were among the first to raise concerns about the health risks of in-flight smoking. Constant exposure to secondhand smoke in the confined space of an airplane cabin posed significant health risks to the crew, who worked in these conditions for extended periods. Passenger complaints about the unpleasantness of smoke-filled cabins also grew louder. adding to the pressure for change. In response to growing health concerns and public pressure, the first steps towards regulating in-flight smoking began in the late 1970s. In 1973, the Civil Aeronautics Board, CAB, required U.S. airlines to create non-smoking sections on domestic flights. This was a landmark move, though it did not completely solve the problem due to the limited separation between smoking and non-smoking areas. The push for a total ban gained momentum in the 1980s. In 1988, the United States took a significant step by banning smoking on all domestic flights of 2 hours or less. This regulation, spearheaded by the Department of Transportation, was influenced by health studies and advocacy from groups such as the Flight Attendants Association. The success of this ban led to further restrictions, and in 1990, smoking was banned on all domestic flights of 6 hours or less. By the mid-1990s, the momentum for a complete ban on in-flight smoking was unstoppable. In 2000, the United States extended the smoking ban to all international flights by U.S. carriers, effectively eliminating smoking on all commercial flights. This move was mirrored by many countries around the world, leading to a global shift towards smoke-free air travel. The International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, also played a critical role in promoting smoke-free skies. In 1996, ICAO recommended that all airlines implement a smoking ban on international flights, a recommendation that was widely adopted by member states. By the early 2000s, smoking on commercial flights had become a thing of the past. The ban on in-flight smoking has had a profound impact on air travel. For passengers, the benefits are clear: cleaner air, reduced health risks, and a more pleasant flying experience. Flight attendants and other airline staff also enjoy a healthier working environment, free from the constant exposure to secondhand smoke. The removal of smoking from airplanes also reflects broader societal trends towards healthier living and greater awareness of the dangers of smoking. Public spaces, including restaurants, bars, and workplaces, have increasingly become smoke-free, mirroring the changes seen in the aviation industry. Number 4, asbestos in household products. Asbestos is a group of naturally occurring fibrous minerals that are highly durable and resistant to heat and corrosion. These qualities made asbestos a popular choice in the construction and manufacturing industries. In homes, asbestos was used in insulation, roofing shingles, floor tiles, cement, and even household items like ironing board covers and toasters. During the post-World War II construction boom, asbestos was seen as a miracle material. Its affordability and effectiveness led to widespread use in building materials. Home insulation, in particular, often contained asbestos due to its excellent thermal properties and fire resistance. Additionally, asbestos was used in pipe insulation, ceiling tiles, and siding, making it ubiquitous in mid-20th century homes. Despite its many uses, asbestos poses serious health risks. Inhalation of asbestos fibers can lead to severe lung diseases, including asbestosis, lung cancer, and mesothelioma, a rare but aggressive form of cancer. These health issues often take decades to develop, making it difficult to link asbestos exposure to illness initially. The dangers of asbestos exposure became more widely recognized in the 1960s and 1970s as scientific studies and medical cases began to reveal the extent of its harmful effects. Workers in asbestos-related industries were among the first to be affected, but as the material was present in many homes, the general public was also at risk. In response to the growing body of evidence regarding the health risks of asbestos, regulatory bodies began to take action. In the United States, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, and the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, introduced regulations to limit exposure to asbestos and eventually phase out its use in many products. In 1973, the EPA banned spray-applied asbestos-containing materials for fireproofing and insulation. This was followed by additional regulations that restricted the use of asbestos in construction materials. By the late 1970s, the Consumer Product Safety Commission, CPSC, also banned the use of asbestos in certain consumer products, including artificial fireplace embers and wall patching compounds. Despite regulatory efforts, asbestos remains in many older homes and buildings. Homeowners and renovators must take precautions when dealing with materials that may contain asbestos. Professional asbestos abatement services are often required to safely remove or encapsulate asbestos-containing materials to prevent exposure. The legacy of asbestos in household products serves as a reminder of the importance of rigorous safety testing and regulation. The material's widespread use and subsequent health risks highlight the need for ongoing vigilance in protecting public health. Number 5. Clacker balls. Clacker balls quickly became a craze among children and teenagers due to their simplicity and the skill required to master the toy. They were not only entertaining but also a form of social activity, as kids would compete to see who could make their clackers clack the longest or perform tricks. The hypnotic sound and the challenge of controlling the swinging balls made clacker balls a must-have toy. However, the very design that made clacker balls popular also made them dangerous. The hard acrylic balls, when swung with enough force, could shatter upon impact. This posed a significant risk of injury, including cuts, bruises, and eye injuries from flying shards. Additionally, even when the balls did not break, the speed and force of the clacking motion could cause bruising or more severe injuries if the ball struck the user's body or face. As injuries associated with clacker balls began to rise, consumer safety organizations and parents started voicing concerns. Reports of accidents prompted the Consumer Product Safety Commission, CPSC, to investigate. The findings led to the decision that clacker balls were indeed hazardous, particularly due to the potential for the balls to shatter and cause injury. In 1971, the CPSC issued a recall of clacker balls and subsequently banned their sale in the United States. This action reflected a growing awareness of the need for stringent safety standards in toys to protect children from harm.